Hey y'all. It's been a minute and just know I've been busy with life. That's about it. That's it. Kids, I don't have just one kid no more that can do everything for himself. I got two. So so I'm learning to adjust. It's not it's stressful at times, but I can handle it. Like, ooh, taking care of a baby by myself. Oh, it's for the birds. But hey, but okay. One thing I'm about to get real up and personal with y'all about this one. It's something that I don't, sometimes when you have like a trauma, you push it in the back of your head and you be like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that ever again. I haven't really spoken on it in years, like years. So it's about to be a hard one right here. So just bear with me. I've been doing a lot of, like I said, a lot of um, self cleansing, like trying to cleanse my mind and come to grips with a lot of things and deal with a lot of things head on instead of pushing them away. Because right now, I feel like my mind is more mature than it was in the past. So a lot of things that I be like, or a lot of things that I'm willing to tackle head on, I couldn't handle it in the past. I had a type of demeanor and type of anger to where I ain't dealing with that shit. Like, get out my face. Like, I ain't dealing with that, or I just stop talking to you and just be hateful, like for no reason. When really, that person might not even be the issue. It's just something that I've been bottling up that's bubbling up to explode. So, one thing a lot of people don't hear me talk about is how I went through a very traumatic time at 16. I was at home and one of my friends came over. She was talking to a dude from Atlanta, and you know how it is when you're young. Oh, you got a home girl? Put me on. So she put me on because he wanted to be put on with one of her homegirls. So I was that homegirl that she put him on with, and we talked. I was like, okay, well, you seem cool. And he was so cute. I used to be like, oh, he is cute. He look like Big Ticker. But we decided to stay home and they all came over my house. So when they first came to my house or whatever, they they parked in the garage and they let me I saw that they had like a gun. So I'm like, I ain't really comfortable with guns. Like that's how my daddy died. So like, can you put that away? So they opened the clip or whatever, and I'm telling y'all the story based on how I remember because it's been so long. I was 16, I'm now 31, so it's been so long and me just like pushing this back in my head to not even think about it. So I'm telling y'all this story to the best of how I remember it. So we they showed they emptied the clip, and I'm gonna try my best to leave names out of it because they know who I'm talking about. they it ain't no point of putting names in there. But they showed me that the clip was empty. And they was like, you ain't got nothing to worry about. The gun is empty. It's nothing to worry about. I'm like, okay, cool. Nothing to worry about. So we chilling in the living room. Then I go in the shower. I go take a shower. and they were in my room. And I come out and notice that they going through my dresses. I'm like, man, what the? Y'all looking at my panties and stuff? Like, get on my panties. So we chill, and being the dumb kid that I was, we had intercourse, of course, and um, we talked. He told me some of the stuff that he liked, and my friend and her dude was like in another room of the house talking and doing what they do. So as they got ready to leave, like, now, did I remind you throughout the whole time they was there for some hours. Like, throughout the whole time, the gun was not loaded. Like, it wasn't loaded. So they were getting ready to leave, and we go into the garage, and I'm saying bye to them. I'm giving the dude I was talking to a hug, like, bye, giving my friend a hug. And I was like, yeah, I got this shit. How y'all get this shit in the car? And I just picked it up, picked the gun up. Because at this point, I'm comfortable with it because they done showed me that there's nothing in the gun. So I picked the gun up and I'm talking to her. Then all of a sudden, it went off. The gun went off. So I'm like, and I never shot a gun before. Never been around guns like that for real, like none of that. So did this shit just go off? And I seen him drop to the ground. I'm like, is this for real? Like, in my mind, it's like trying to process everything that's going on. Like, did I just shoot him? Like, what the fuck? I ain't even pulled the trigger. Like, what the fuck? So he drops to the ground, and next thing I know, everything just went into slow motion. Everything just went into slow motion. And the last thing I remember doing is running in the house. Then I run back out in the doorway, and I just seen his hand like gripping, and I'm like, this shit is real. I really just shot him. Like, what the fuck? So my brother was there as well. So he heard the noise, so he came downstairs because he heard me freaking out. So he looking and like, what the fuck is going on? So he looking and he's like, and after that, I remember running around just screaming like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like just screaming and just screaming. The next thing I know, I'm one neighbor that I know for sure would be home. I ran to the neighbor across the street house, and I knocked on the door. He came to the door. He was like, what's going on? So I told him. I was like, I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. And I'm just crying. So I was like, please, can you just like help me? Just help me. So my friend and the dude I talked to, they got in the car and left. They left me there. I understand that they panicked, so they panicked and left. They didn't know what to do. So he came to look, and by this time it's blood surrounding his head, and he just immediately started praying. And next thing I know, like, the police is there. I'm in the back of a cop car, and I'm like, bro, like, how the fuck did I get here? Like, how did this shit really happen? So they put my brother in the back of a cop car. They escorted us to the police department. They interviewed us, and they got my phone, and they was like, what are the name of the other people that were here? So I just gave them their information, and they called them, and they brought them. After that day, I never seen them again into court. But they called them. My friend was back at home, and he was back in Atlanta. The one I was talking to, he was back in Atlanta. So they came. Somehow they got them back here to Chattanooga to interview them. So I had to. The next step was I had to turn myself in, and they were trying to charge me as an adult. They let me go home that night. I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to go home. So when I went to my grandma's house, I didn't go home for months. I was scared to go home. So I remember listening to their interviews. My lawyer played them for me, letting me know like what was said. So both of them in the interviews, they let the police know like she didn't try to do it. So I had to turn myself in. And when I tell you, like, that was like the worst experience ever. I'm in jail, and like I said, I was facing charges of reckless homicide, and they were trying to charge me as an adult. So, like, I didn't try to do it, so why do I even have charges pressing against me? Like, I didn't try to do it, so, but of course, I tried to keep my faith that I wasn't gonna have to stay in jail. So I go to jail, and the guard was like, "Do you know what you've done?" I'm like, "Ma'am, how do I not know what I've done? Like, do you know what I'm mentally going through right now? Like, I know what I've done." Well, a lot of kids that come in with what you've done, they never leave. So I'm like, what the? I was like, "Ma'am, like, I believe I'm getting out." "No, I don't think you're getting out. You have to make yourself comfortable." I was like, "Well, ma'am, if you don't mind me asking, what do you believe in?" She was like, "Allah." I was like, "Well, you know what? I ain't even trying to be funny, but me and you don't even have the same type of faith. So therefore, you can't speak on what's going to happen to me." So she put me back in my cell. She put me back in my cell. So I was like, don't come out here speaking on negative stuff. Like, I'm going through a real hard time right now, so I don't need this. So next thing you know, I had court later on that day, and they let me go home. So guess who had to check me out? The same lady that said I wasn't leaving. But I get home, and of course I was having nightmares and crying, having I just kept having this dream that someone was pointing a gun to my head and shoot me in my head. Like, I just kept having this dream, and I was like, why? Like, this is crazy. Like, is this gonna happen to me? Like, I was like, I don't want to go home. I'm scared that somebody gonna come home and kill me. Like, I was just so scared, and I was having nightmares, waking up, just screaming for my mama, like just crying. I remember one time my friend Devin came to visit me through it all, and she was trying to comfort me, and I remember just crying out, saying, "I want my mama, I want my mama." And like, Devin had to leave because she really couldn't take it. Like, don't forget, I'm 16, so she left, and it wasn't really nothing that she could do. She did what she could have done, which was show her presence. So I was very thankful for that. But I needed my mama, so that time it was really rough. It was really rough. I remember going to court, having to face his mama, and just seeing like the damage that I've done by picking up something that I knew I shouldn't have picked up, because I know what they can do, but I never knew that the gun was loaded. I never knew they loaded it. But to see his mama sit in the courtroom and just like, as I'm an adult now, I understand. But as a kid, I was like, she know I didn't try to do it, so why is she in here bashing me? Like, why does she have this type of anger towards me? She was telling them that she want me to go to jail. I shouldn't be out because I need to pay for what I did to her son. I'm like, your son brought the gun. Like, why are you upset with me? Like, I didn't know that him or his friend loaded the gun, number one, and I didn't try to do it. So I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand. But now that I'm older, I understand, like, she's speaking from hurt. Like, I would probably say the same thing. I probably would say the same thing. Like, you need to go to jail. But at the time, I wasn't understanding of that because, of course, I'm 16. So I just had so much guilt when I was at, like, I tried to be strong in front of them because I was like, I don't want them to see me really messed up. Like I've been at home. I don't want them to see me like that. So the DA, they did, oh my gosh, they did so much petty things. Like the pictures of his body, they were so petty to put the pictures with him surrounded by blood in front of me, trying to intimidate me. Like, really? I'm 16. You really trying to do this? Like, if y'all understood, I went to a white school, like not really a white school, but a mixed school. I was a good girl. I've never been in trouble. I was good. Like, I acted I had an attitude, but as far as manners and all that, I was good. So I've never been in trouble with the law. I don't even do that. My mama keep me in the house, and y'all really trying to charge me as an adult on a mess up, like on something that I didn't even really trying to do. Y'all trying to send me away for the rest of my life, for real. But the DA was so tough on me. Like I had to bring character witnesses, and my pastor was one of the character witnesses, and they asked my pastor. My pastor let them know, yeah, she's been active in the church. She Girl Scouts, youth choir, like she's a good kid, and just saying these good things because I was active in the church. I was in Girl Scouts. I was in choir. I was doing a lot of things at church, Bible study, Sunday school, like all of this, like. So the DA asked my pastor, well, if she's such a good girl, why did she have sex with this man on the first time meeting him? So, I'm like, really? Like, why does this matter? Like, why is this a valid point? Like, why are you trying to make, why? But I guess the DA was just doing his job. But I end up having to, they end up taking me out. Like, I end up beating the charge or whatever. But I had to go on intensive probation. And that was pretty hell for me. It was hell. I was in a room full of kids that done got caught selling drugs, kids robbing people, raping people. Like, I'm like, bro. And I'm the only girl. It was like 10 other boys And I'm the only girl. So I'm like, man. So every time we had to go, and we had these meetings that we had to go to every week. And every time I would go, they'll be like, "Why you in here? You look like a good girl. Like, why you in here?" And I be like, I said, nothing. Just, I mean, not really wanting to tell them while I'm in there. Like after the 10th time of them asking, I just finally let them know, and they was like, "What?" I was like, "But I don't want to speak on it," so they dropped it. But it's a lot of people who thought that joint was a game, like making jokes saying, "Oh, I hope you don't kill me." And I'm like, "Really, bro?" It's like, you really think this shit is funny? But of course, I'm 16. Kids ain't really thinking about stuff like that. They just thinking about making jokes, not knowing how those jokes are hitting. But I, I literally, I still to this day don't understand how I am not crazy. how how I'm not crazy. Because that time was so tough. I never thought I would come out of it. I never thought. I never thought. My school, they were so embarrassed that I went there. They tried to kick me out. They tried to kick me out of school. It was just, then I had kids in the hallways just staring at me. And I'm like, how do they even know? How do they even know? Because the news, of course, won't even say your name when you a minor. So I'm like, how do they even know it's me? But I come to the school and they staring, whispering, like scared to say anything. So it was plenty of times I used to run into the bathroom crying, just crying and like wishing that I I used to wish I would die. So I just wish I would. I used at that time I was like, why? I just wish I would die. Like I just wish I would die. I don't deserve to live. I had so many nights of thinking that as well, not knowing like the calling that I had on my life. And I hate to say it, like I hate to say it because you don't want to be like, yeah, I know it. I didn't die because of the calling I had on my life, because I feel like that is very insensitive, because like you still took a life. You don't know what that child calling could have been. But I'm telling you, it's a lot of times I don't like thinking about it. I don't, because it was a very dark time in my life. But it's funny because I remember going against my lawyer wishes, telling me not to reach out to the gentleman that I was talking to. And I did, like a dummy. I wrote him a letter telling him how sorry I was for all of us being in the position and for hurting his friend. And like, I remember I apologized to his mom. I don't even know if she even read my message, but I wrote her on Facebook. And of course, if she's not my friend, it's gonna go to message requests. But I wrote her as an adult years, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, apologizing, telling her just apologizing to her. I ain't gonna say exactly what I said, but I apologized. But I'm telling you, it's been a lot of situations that I have been in, but that one was the most traumatic ever. Like, just imagine taking a life at 16 and you not trying to. You didn't try to. Like, this, like I say, I still don't understand how I'm still sane today because I don't understand, but I just thank God for getting me through it, because I'm telling you, that's the only person that got me through that. Yeah, it was God. Because, man, I had so many dark days, so many people I thought who was my friend comforting me, and they wasn't my friend. They were going back telling people, like, everything that I was going through. But I just thank God for getting me through it. That's all I'm going to say. And I thank y'all for watching this video. Like I said, this is therapeutic for me. And as I'm doing a lot of self-healing, talking about it as I normally wouldn't has become more therapeutic to me. And I just thank God for allowing me to make it to this point of my life to be able to talk about things and not even care about being judged. Because at this point, I don't care about being judged. It's life experiences that is making me better and making me into the woman that I feel that God is wanting me to be. And I'm telling you, I have not always been this way. People that know me, y'all know. LaShauna was hateful. LaShauna was mean. LaShauna was not humble. And LaShauna felt like I can do what I want and not care about the consequences. Like, I really be thinking about the consequences now. Like, not only for me, but for my kids. So, my mouth is not as slick as it used to be. And I'm more humble. I'm more sympathetic. I'm more caring and listening and not just thinking about myself. But thank y'all for watching my video. And anything that you're going through, just understand that there is nothing that I try to tell people so much that the only way that you're going to get through your toughest times in life, and y'all ain't going to believe me, until you getting through that, until you're in that tough time, you're not going to believe me, but God, and I ain't no preacher, I'm not the best Christian, I haven't lived my life how I'm supposed to live all the time, but God is the only person that's going to ever get you through the toughest times that you feel that you're never going to be able to get out of. He is the only person. He is the only reason I'm saying today. He is the only. Like, so just understand it and don't give up. Don't look at a situation and be like, dang, I'm never going to get through this. Don't think about hurting yourself because you feel like you're not going to get through that time. Don't think about none of that. Think about God. I'm yours. I'm putting everything in your hands. Get me through this. And he will get you through that. It might not be overnight, but he going to get it done. So y'all better believe it. You better believe it. But thank you for watching my video. Y'all have a good day.